You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, Black and White Sports fans, Sunday Night Football is going to be a playing game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Whoever wins that game is actually going to win the division and go to the NFL playoffs. Whoever loses it, their season is over with. They're going home. Now, last time I checked, guys, I believe that the Ravens were a slight favorite in this game, even though the game is actually at Pittsburgh. Now, we all know that DK Metcalf won't be there because he decided, I want to go up there and punch a fan, and I'm going to claim racism. He says that the fan called him a derogatory racial slur. And we watched the video, folks, and none of that is in the video. Now, of course, we're also hearing about another incident that happened when DK Metcalf was with the Seattle Seahawks. Okay? Now, Jay Glazer actually had a report talking about the incident, but yet and still, he doesn't tell us what was actually said. Okay? Nothing happened to the fan. I mean, I'm thinking that this is probably like some LeBron James or Draymond Green getting a fan kicked out at these NBA games where they want you to think that it's racism, but yet there was no racial slurs actually said. Now, DK Metcalf in this situation did say, hey, he called me a racial slur. Video says otherwise. Okay. Now that the Steelers they lost the game to the lowly Cleveland Browns. They're not happy with the NFL whatsoever for suspending DK Metcalf. In reality, guys, the Steelers should actually be mad at DK Metcalf. Nobody told him to go over there and acknowledge that fan and then throw a punch. Nobody. DK Metcalf did that to himself. But the Steelers are upset because the NFL and the Lions didn't alert them to the history between that fan and DK Metcalf. Yeah, I said it before, guys. If you are a road team, fans are going to heckle you. That's just the way it is. If you are a player, concentrate on the game, even if you're actually on the sideline. But DK Metcalf said, nah, I'm not interested in the game. I'm going to go over there and acknowledge the fan. He lost his head. He did it to himself. Now, if the Steelers don't make the playoffs, hey, I'm not blaming the NFL. DK Metcalf did that himself. He can't go out there and throw a punch. He should have known he's going to get suspended. And I called the guys. I said, this guy's going to be suspended for 2 games. And I was right. So let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. Here we go. Right over here. Steelers call out NFL after DK Metcalf suspension derails playoff hopes. Yeah, the only thing I can say is, guys, win more games. Win more games. Look here. It says the Steelers are currently recovering from a disappointing internal atmosphere following a Week 17 loss to the Cleveland Browns 13-6, a game that could have clinched the AFC North. Instead, they find themselves in a must-win scenario for Week 18 against the Baltimore Ravens, and they will have to do it without their primary offensive weapon, DK Metcalf. Yeah. Says here, the core of the Steelers' frustration lies in a lack of transparency. According to Team Insider, Gary Dulick, the organization is upset that neither the NFL nor the Detroit Lions alerted them to the volatile history between Metcalf and a specific fan, Ryan Kennedy, prior to their Week 16 matchup at Ford Field. It was later revealed that Metcalf had filed a formal grievance against the same fan a year prior during his tenure with the Seattle Seahawks. The Steelers argue that if they had been warned of this prior history, they could have implemented specific security measures or assigned the required staffers to monitor the area behind the bench. Now, over here, this is what we actually know about the prior incident between DK Metcalf and Ryan Kennedy. Okay? Now, look here. It says the latest chapter in the DK Metcalf Ryan Kennedy saga unfolded Sunday when Fox Sports' Jay Glazer reported before kickoff that the Pittsburgh Steelers receiver had filed a formal security complaint against Kennedy in September 2024 while Metcalf was still with the Seattle Seahawks. This is what Jay Glazer says, quote, I actually have the security communication between the Detroit Lions and Seattle Seahawks security from a game last year. DK Metcalf complained about that exact same fan to security. He asked that the fan be removed over derogatory comments. I'm not going to repeat what the comments are on here. In this, it says, when we investigated during the game, the individuals around collaborated that the fan was being out of line and had indeed said these derogatory statements. They even asked us to remove Kennedy. Despite that prior incident, the NFL ruled Metcalf would serve a 2-game suspension for his altercation with Kennedy. Now, what I'm thinking, guys, is that maybe the fan called DK Metcalf a bitch. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking right there. Okay? Maybe he did that. And DK Metcalf got triggered. See, it's the same thing with like LeBron James and Draymond Green. They hear fans heckle them and it gets into their head. And this is what fans do, man. They're going to heckle you if you're right there. And it is your job as a player not to get triggered. But DK Metcalf got triggered. Now, we know from the video from last week that the fan did not call DK Metcalf any racial slurs. It was not on video, folks. That was a lie. That was a complete lie. But look here. This is what the Steelers had to say according to Jerry Dulac. Quote, the Steelers remain upset that the NFL and Detroit Lions did not alert them before the game about the incident between Metcalf and the same fan a year earlier when Metcalf was with the Seattle Seahawks. Had they done so, additional procedures could have been put in place by league, Lions, and Steelers to prevent what ultimately reoccurred. It probably did not sit well with them either that Metcalf's appeals hearing was handled by a one-time division rival in former Browns coach Chris Palmer, who was appointed by league. Wow. So now they're crying about a former division opponent being involved in the suspension. Folks, it didn't take a genius to figure out that DK Metcalf was going to be sitting down for 2 games for what he did. So don't blame the NFL. Don't blame a former division rival on this whatsoever. Your guy did this to himself. He did it to himself. Also, voided $45 million in guaranteed money, guys. Yeah, I think this is kind of weak from the Steelers right here. I really do. I think they're more worried about missing the playoffs. That's what they're freaking out about. Because when you only score, what did they score? 6 points? 7, 6, something like that? Yeah. And DK Metcalf ain't going to be there. The Steelers are probably panicking, folks. They're probably panicking, and they know they're in huge trouble against the Ravens. Bit trouble. No DK Metcalf. Hey, he did to himself, man. He had to know once he threw that punch, he was going to be suspended. So that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.